Welcome back to my channel, everybody. I hope everyone's doing well. To those who have been subscribed for a long time, I appreciate you returning. For those of you who are new subscribers, welcome. We're happy you're here. For those of you who are watching and haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button. We'd like to see you come back. So today I'm going to make a tray, and first I gotta clean it out because my original thought process did not work right, so we're starting over. I was gonna use this because I liked the way it went with the roses, but then I remembered I had a beautiful chameleon powder. Now I've heard chameleon powders can either work or not work when you paint them on the tray with ceramic resin, so fingers crossed. But I do love the way the color shift in this one is. And you'll have to forgive me, I am blind, so I literally cannot see the name on this bottle. But I'm going to put it up close enough, and hopefully you guys can see it. I think it's Aurora Forest, but I'm not 100% sure. But it is one of my favorites, but looking on this screen and my eyes, age is catching up to me, I think. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paint around the outer edge of the mold with this. And this is one of those pretty little tray molds. I got it off of Temu. I'll link it in the description if it's still available. You can also get it on Amazon. It's not too big of a price difference. You just have to decide, do you want to wait 3 weeks or do you want to wait 2 days to get it, in my opinion, to see if the price difference is worth it to you. But I'm going to go ahead and trying to be neat, but we know how that goes. You can't be neat and tidy with chameleon powders. It just never works. I do love this brand. I don't know if it's Mateo, Maisho. I don't know how to say it. Forgive me. I barely English well, and strange names just are not my forte. But I'm going to go ahead and squish this all around, get it in there, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it will stick to the ceramic resin. Like I said, I've seen it go both ways. With Resincrete, with Mix to Mold, with Magic Pour. I've definitely seen it go both ways. Sometimes it'll adhere to it, sometimes it doesn't adhere to it. And I don't know which causes which, whether it's the brand of the chameleon powder, or if maybe enough isn't being put on, or maybe the mold's just disagreeable, or maybe the resin's not getting hot enough when it cures. Too many factors to figure it out. But I went ahead and paused it and cleaned this up. I didn't think you guys wanted to wait for me to wipe the mess out. Because, oh, I sure did make a mess with it in that mold. But I'm going to go ahead and get this all measured out and stirred up and all that fun stuff. Now, I want to tint the Resincrete with a mica powder. In hindsight, I should have mixed the mica with a little bit of alcohol, because not all micas are fine enough to break down in water. I very rarely have found one that breaks down in water, honestly, but I have seen a few that look like they do okay on other channels. But the ones that I use, this is the dark green by the Kiss Relic, comes in the resin kit that Jamie and Julia have been so gracious as to gift me from my wish list. Much appreciated. I do love their micas. But in hindsight, I definitely should have mixed the mica with a little bit of alcohol to break it down. But I'm not mad at the way this turned out. And in my opinion, you can do this any way you want. It works out better when you're working with the ceramic resins, whether it be Mix to Mold, Magic Resin, Resincrete, just any of them that you're going to use. For me, personally, it works out better to mix the color in your liquid first, because you are hard-pressed for time. With a lot of them, especially Magic Pour, you literally 30 seconds and you better pour, otherwise it's already setting up in your cup and you're going to lose a lot of it. But personally, I like to mix it in the water first, then add the powder. To me, it gets a much cleaner mix, a much smoother coloring to it. So yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and mix this up in the cup as best as I can, because like I said, I totally forgot to break it down. Oh, it's such a pretty color. I can't wait to put it in regular resin for you guys to see. It's so gorgeous. But I really want just a pale hint of green, but I didn't want like that bright minty color. Go ahead and add the Resincrete to the cup. Usually I weigh it, but I've gotten pretty good at eyeballing what the consistency should be, and I've seen with pretty much all of the ones that I've tried so far, the Magic Pour Mix to Mold and the Resincrete, that if you get kind of a between, I'd say like a store-bought syrup, not real maple syrup because it's a little thicker, but like, Aunt Jemima or whatever. If you get like regular syrup and buttermilk, kind of in between that consistency, it's usually perfect and you're good to go and there's no issues with it. I very rarely have bubble problems. I mean, of course, we got to slap the life out of the mold half the time to make sure there's no bubbles trapped if there's little intricate parts. English woman, English. One of these days. Maybe if I learned a foreign language, I would English better. Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. I'm going to add a little more powder because it's still a little thinner than it needs to be. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you've all had a wonderful day. A wonderful week. I think it'll be about a week before this gets out. A few days from the last video. But I hope you're all doing well. I hope everybody's healthy, wealthy, and wise. I doubt we're wealthy. I've seen the economy. But hey, I hope you're all doing good. And we'll get this all stirred up and mixed together. I'm trying to close the Resincrete bag. For some reason, it does not want to close. Oh, I did not know Resincrete sold a 5,000 gram package of resin, of the Resincrete, and oh, I'm here for it. That is definitely going to be something that I'm going to do my best to invest in, because I could use about that much Resincrete right now. I do love to work with it, and I should be wearing gloves, but I don't get itchy from it or nothing, and I try not to get it on my skin while it's wet. The powder don't bother me. But please, always wear your gloves. Don't do as I do. Sometimes I'm not the smartest light bulb on the strand in the Christmas tree. But the gloves make my hands sweat, and they make me itchy. I will recommend, though, even for epoxy, when it comes to gloves, I've noticed a lot of people using the thinner blue gloves, and yes, they are a nitrile glove, but they are super thin, and to me, for me, when I wear the blue ones, which I do have some, I'm just trying to get rid of the box, I have more issues with my skin breaking out, and it's not from resin getting into them or anything, it's just from, I don't know if it's because of the sweating that I do so bad. So I recommend your gloves just maybe one size too big, so they are a little loose and not just stuck to you. But I also recommend no less than 9mm thick nitrile gloves. To me, those are the best ones. No chance of anything seeping through the glove. It's harder to tear on accident when you're working with, the sticks or your X-Acto knife or, your little tools. That, and they're easy to clean and wipe off and reuse if you need to, especially if you're using the eco resins. They're a much thicker gloves, so you can literally walk over to the sink and wash your hands in them, and then gently take them off and lay them somewhere, and they're good for another use. They're a little more pricey than the little thin blue ones, but I would recommend investing in some. I'm going to add a little bit more mica here, because it's just a little bit too pale for me. Get that stirred all up in there. And we'll get it poured down in here, and fingers crossed I mixed up enough, because yeah, I did not measure how much my mold holds. I know I should do that. I know I should measure it with water, see how many ounces, so I know what I'm doing, but that's the part I literally always forget. So we just wing it. We hope, we pray, and sometimes we get a little more than we bargained for, but that's okay, because that means we get extra things, right? Go ahead and pour this in there. And give it a little spanky around the edges. A little tappity. What is it Steve McDonald says? A little tappy wappy. Make sure there's no bubbles. Of course, I gotta flick it. I mean, genuinely not nice to it. And there's a little tiny bit left, and I do have a mold off to the side that I've been pouring my little extras in. So I'll go ahead and add that to it. It's almost full. It's nothing spectacular. It's just a giant pyramid ring cone thingy. I had it filled up when I did the video with the pearls and the glitter. And I went to put my netting over my resin so nothing landed in it, and voila, it went everywhere. It fell off. So we're still filling it up now. You can see where that mica floated to the top, and that didn't make me too happy, but it's like I said, though, I'm okay with it. I'm not mad. You can see it's still, you can rub it off, so I'm going to wipe a little bit of the excess off with a baby wipe. It's a dry wipe, so because I don't want to add any more moisture to it than's already in it. We want this thing to fully dry someday. And now we're going to demold it, and fingers crossed the chameleon powder stuck to the edges. And it looks like it might be spotty. That don't make me happy. Nobody wants it to be spotty. I was really hoping, against all hope, that it was going to stick to the... Yeah, you guys could see it still in there, huh? But we'll get this turned over, and it stuck. I am so happy. I am so happy it all stuck on there. I did notice that I must have gotten a little air bubble on one side, just a tiny one, right there where I'm touching. It looks like there's a little chip out of it, but it's okay. I can paint over that with some mica later, or run over it with a little bit of a gold pen since it's so small it wouldn't be noticeable. But we're going to put this temporary tattoo on here, and fingers crossed it comes out the way I'm hoping it does. It does, just so you know. Spoiler alert. I'm not gonna lie, I could not believe how this turned out. It was not at all what I expected, honestly. Not at all what I expected. But can't find my scissors, so we just tore off a little bit of the edges. We're gonna peel the protective covering off. I accidentally one time did not do that, and I put my temporary tattoo right onto the little protective cover. Didn't serve the purpose I needed. And we're going to get this laid in here someday, at some point. And there we go. Then we're just going to get some water and wet the back of it, and hopefully it'll transfer off of there. For those of you who watch Marvelous Artsy, I'm so enamored with her little animal videos she's been doing lately. It's all her little animal molds. If you guys haven't checked her out, please do so. She's such a sweet lady. And these little animals are just adorable. I mean, goodness, I watched her video from today, and She had the most adorable little cow. Oh my goodness. He was so, so cute. I'm definitely going to have to find the mold because he's just too cute not to have. And I have a friend who cows are so her thing, and I would love to make her some of those for her birthday coming up. Note to self, alcohol does not do what water does on the back of a tattoo. Oh, I was hoping because I really didn't want to get up and have to go get more water. But epically, no. No, it did not. Did not do what I hoped it would do. I don't know what I was thinking. Sometimes I don't think I do think. Nope. No, we're definitely going to have to go wet the wipey that I'm using to pet the water around because, like I said, apparently alcohol does not work like water on a temporary tattoo. But that's okay. We will get this, I promise. Yeah, squish it around on there. Make sure we get every little nook and cranny. And I don't want to get it too wet because I don't want to add more moisture to the Resincrete. Get that little corner. And I get these temporary tattoos off of either Amazon or Temu. I mean, you literally just type in whatever style graphic you're looking for in temporary tattoo on pretty much any of these websites, and they're going to come up with something. Just remember, if you want a large one, put large. If you want extra large, extra large. Always put the size with it, and you'll get a better variety of what you're looking for. More in the more geared towards the size you want. I have stacks of temporary tattoos because every time I go to look for one, I'm like, oh, I wonder what they have on the internet. Yeah, I gotta stop doing that. I do the same thing with heat transfers. I have so many heat transfers right now. We definitely got to start doing something with these things, people. I have several drawers full of different sizes. No, not wanting to come off of there. This is probably the worst time I've ever had with a temporary tattoo, and I've used them a lot. I've used them on ceramic resin for keychains. I've used them on multiple different things, but for some reason, this particular tattoo was just like, no, I kind of like my paper. I'll give it a little extra water there. Get it all smush it down. Oh, I will be here all night if I have to be. This thing is, I'm going to win. I will win. Yes, I will win. I hope I win. Can you imagine being beat by a tattoo? That'd be horrible. Let's give it a little peel. Oh, there it is. There. Oh, no, little piece sticking. No, go back down. I need you to take your little self and put your little self down there. No empty spaces. And there it is. When I say this thing blew my mind, I did not expect to love this as much as I did. I thought, oh, it's going to be a pretty little tray, but this far exceeded my expectations. I have never loved a single piece of my resin that I have ever created as much as I love this. Now I can think of a million other colors I want to do this in. Is that terrible? I won't torture you guys with that. There is a little cleanup I'm going to have to do around the edges where I missed some of that powder, and I'll have to do a little sanding, but I'm okay with that because it looks so elegantly just old, in my opinion, like, more antique than, some of the regular trays that we do. It was just so old-fashioned, and I'm an old-fashioned Victorian type of girl. I love that style. I always have my whole life. And this tickled my spot. Yes, it did. This definitely tickled my Victorian spot, and I'm so excited about it. But I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Have a great night.